What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the S10. Figured you guys probably wanted to get all the information on this one since this one looks like the more fun one, but honestly the Jeep and the S10 are both pretty equally fun. But yeah, I guess I'll just give you a little history and rundown of what the truck is, where I got it, what the plans are for it in the near future. So I got this truck out of Klamath Falls from a guy named Corky, really cool guy. He built the truck, everything that it is now for the most part. I did a few things, but when I got it from him, it was turnkey, ready to go. And it started out as just a stock 2001 4-cylinder S10. He pulled out the 4-cylinder, did everything that it is to it now. It's a stock bottom end, LQ9, 6-liter LS, 64cc rec port heads, BTR cam, dual stainless steel valve springs. It's got a Borg Warner S475 turbo, VS wastegate, VS blow-off valve. It's got AEM water methanol injection, custom catch can, coolant reservoir, all that stuff. It's got an aluminum radiator and good size front mount air-to-air intercooler. Behind it is a Turbo 400 with a spec right bullet torque converter. So the one thing that I did to it was the transmission. When I got it, the transmission was a stock Turbo 400, same torque converter. I was at the track after some passes at the track. It was shifting really weird. Much couldn't even feel the shifts, and there were some concerning noises coming out from underneath of it. I almost thought that the noises I was hearing was, bottom end noise. Crawled under it one night, got to looking, turning the flex plate and all that, and that's when I found that the flex plate right at the center was cracked. So I pulled the trans. When I went to go pull the torque converter off, even though I had all the bolts out, the plate came off and the center stayed, attached to the crank. So it was real close to being catastrophic. Like I parked it at the perfect time. So pulled that broken flex plate off, got a TCI forged flex plate, good SFI rated one. Sent this torque converter off the spec right, had them go through it. They said it was fine. Then I had the trans rebuilt. I didn't really get much info on what they did to it, honestly. I told them I wanted it to handle 1,000 horsepower. All he said was there was 4L80 stuff in it, and it'll handle 1,000 horsepower. So the transmission, with what's coming up with it next to the truck, transmission's going to come back out, and it's going to get a trans brake. Yeah, so that's a little bit of history on it. That's really all there is to it. It's got a narrowed 8.8 rear end, 28 1050 slicks, a roll bar, tied into the frame out of the back window, and then it's all tuned on Holley as well. Pretty awesome. I love the Holley. It's my first time dealing with Holley, and it's pretty foolproof. I mean, it's kind of hard to fuck it up, honestly. So I'm pleased with the truck. I've personally gotten the truck to run a 990. The previous owner got the truck to run a 960. So I ran a 990 on 13.5 pounds on 110 race gas. He ran a 960 on 110 race gas on 15 pounds. So I've never ran 15 pounds. I did one time turn it up to 15. I just wasn't getting more than 12 pounds for some reason. Turned out I had a vacuum line that popped off at the vacuum block. So that was kind of where my boost issue was there. But other than that, I've never had it up on 15 pounds. So the goal for it next summer is to run 8s. I'm not too confident it could do it right now. I think I could get it into the low 9s just because of the S475. That's not even really good for 1,000 horsepower, and I think personally you would kind of need close to 1,000 horsepower to be in the 8s. That's why this is all going to change. This winter here real soon, motor's going to come out, put a good rotating assembly in it. I'm going to change up all the exhausts, probably go to up and forward mount headers with a front crossover. And I really think I want to go twins. I don't know what yet, like twin S300s or S366s or something like that. Not something too big, but just something that's going to get the spool nicely and something that'll support, 1,200, 1,300 horsepower. Because I'd like to put this on a dyno. It's never been on a dyno. But next spring, I'd like to put it on a dyno, and I'd like to see 1,200 horsepower. As far as the top end, I'm probably going to leave it the way it is. Leave the cam, the heads the way they are. Like I said, change up the exhaust, do twins. I want to put it on E85. And I want to lose the air-to-air intercooler, and I want to go to a liquid-to-air intercooler. So probably like a sheer fab liquid-to-air intercooler with a Holley high ram. So it'll be sticking up out of the hood probably, and that's fine by me. I've got pretty good at cutting out hoods around stuff. When I had the supercharger on my Toyota, it stuck out of the hood, and it was all cut out, perfectly the shape of the supercharger. So I'll probably get a 4-inch cowl, and even then, because it's got a 2-inch cowl on it now, even then the 4-inch cowl is probably still gonna, with a sheer fab liquid to air intercooler and a high ram, it's probably gonna stick out of the hood. As far as where I'm gonna mount the turbos, anywhere up front they'll fit, really. If they have to stick up out of the hood, that's fine. If I got to put them both side by side in the grill, I'll do that too. But I'm going to try to do it all myself. I do all my own work mainly, but I want to teach myself how to fabricate exhaust. So I'll buy a set of headers, but then I'll try to build everything off of that. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. It's kind of a simple build. Very, very, very fun. It does amazing on the track. Does pretty good on the street. The street seems like it can only handle about 10 pounds out of this thing. Done anything below 40 miles an hour. But if you're on the freeway, you can turn it up pretty good and lay into it and she'll stick. But I've also been playing with tire pressures. Just the other day I took it out, and it's cold out right now. It was probably 40 degrees, but it was dry. I usually been running around 10 pounds on these slicks. I put up 12 pounds, laid into it one time. I think it's on 10 pounds. I laid into it, and it just immediately, tires went up in smoke. I did another pull down the road after the tires were a little warm, and it actually just hooked. And I was like, holy hell, this thing almost never hooks on the street. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it does all right on the street.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I just can't wait winter to get cracking on it. Like I said, the motor's going to get redone, exhaust, turbos. It'll be on E85. She'll have a trans brake. Probably going to change up the stall and tighten up the converter a little bit. Also finish the cage off, and it needs a chute. It really does need a parachute. When I crossed the beams at that 990 pass, I was doing 142, I believe, and it's got manual brakes. And even on our uphill runoff, I barely made the last chute. So it'll get a parachute, and you can bet your ass I'll have some videos of me doing stuff on the street. I'm going to pull that chute on the street. But yeah, that's really it. That's the rundown on the old S10. You guys are going to see a lot of the S10. Take you right along with the changes that are coming for it, the rebuild, everything that has to do with the S10 is going to be on the channel. So hope you guys look forward to it. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, or anything you want to see, your thoughts or whatever, in the comments, and I'll try to get to them. So yeah, there it is. All right, you guys have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.